Hi everyone, we'll be presenting a strategic marketing plan on Glossier to enter the Singapore market. In this presentation, the speakers are Candice, Kimberly, Sherry, Tianshu, and myself, Maricela. So Glossier is an American digital consumer-driven beauty cosmetic brand that has rapidly grown over a short span of 6 years since 2014. And the unique selling point is that they include their target consumers in their product creation process and also offer products that are co-created. Now, they have a very strong social following amongst young adults in millennials and Gen Z, and the brand emphasizes on beauty products inspired by real life by placing positive connotations on real beauty such as simple, easy, light, and give consumers to exuberate confidence and providing them affordable and customizable products as well. Now, their mission is to giving voice through beauty as a DTC company that leverages the power of personal narrative to own the beauty conversation on the internet. Now, for products, there are four types of ranges, which is skincare, cosmetics, body, and fragrance. The key features is that all of their products are dermatologist tested and cruelty free, and most of their formulas are vegan, and the product names are typically flashy, and the packaging is subdued with very understated colors.
Market segmentation is very important because this enables companies to understand their target audience, and they are able to leverage this into the company's products or marketing strategies. So for Glossier, the target audience are Generation C, which ranges from 18 to 25 years old, and as seen on their social medias, they use predominantly females. To showcase their products, and they are usually young working adults, and these people are usually social media and tech savvy and all about personal empowerment. So market size and growth potential. According to the Department of Statistics Singapore, the population of Singapore is reported to be at 5.6 million, and with that, the size of our target market would actually be 60%. Therefore, the growth potential in the target market appears to be very promising, and it is even forecasted that it will only keep growing. And according to the Daily Vanity Consumer Survey, there is a high demand for Korean and Western brands, and due to the exposure on social media, Singaporeans are more exposed to Western brands. And therefore, there is strong growth potential because young consumers, which are Gen Z, are entering the market.
Now to the PESTA analysis, which will be focusing on three main areas, which include the social, technology, and also legal factors. So as for education, Singapore actually has a high literacy rate of 97.3% among the adults who are 15 years old and above. And this also means that Singaporeans generally have like a high standard of living, since they are able to make better life choices, and also they know the importance of the environment. So they actually allocate part of their income to their well-being, which includes the cosmetic and also health supplements. As for lifestyle, Singaporeans actually have the highest penetration of smartphones, and so mostly Gen Z are actually educated through their phones, in which they tend to seek their smartphone for answers and information. In the world of internet, the world actually connects as one, so they actually tend to seek for brands who are vegan and also animal cruelty free. So this actually causes the cultural shift in Gen Z, who strongly believes in equality in not just race or religion, but also in gender. They embrace diversification and also value individualism, especially in Singapore where it is multicultural in its core. Brands who wish to expand here would have to take this into consideration. Moving forward, Singapore becoming a smart nation is actually an initiative that aims to transform Singapore through technology to remain advanced as a global city. So online shopping will actually only increase as digital is becoming more accessible through the help of the smart nation. And also shoppers are turning into more online platforms to purchase products that are not available in Singapore. An example would be the Huda Beauty. So Huda Beauty is actually not launched in Singapore, yet a large part of its website sales actually comes from Singapore. Okay, we'll be moving on to the technology factor. So today's consumers are actually more educated and adventurous. They tend to seek for new and inventive brands. So in other words, they actually seek for unique and tailored experience rather than a product that fits all. So brands actually have to consider to redesign their stories to actually meet these ever-changing needs. And an example will be Shiseido's skincare system, which is the Optune. It has a personalized app that helps to map the skin environment, and the AI will analyze the data, then choose the best condition and also the skin tone to help the consumer to achieve the optimal moisturized state. We'll be moving on to the legal factor. So cosmetic product regulation actually for Glossier to market their products in Singapore, they have to understand and comply the requirements for the Singapore cosmetic product regulations, such as the product ingredients restrictions and also product labeling. So for product notification and licenses, no license will be required to sell cosmetics in Singapore. Neither they need to be assessed or approved by HSA before they are sold. But however, companies are required to file a product notification with HSA and also to apply for a client registration and identification services account. This is to ensure that their products actually complies with the product labeling requirements and also the advertisement requirements, aligned with the Asian Cosmetic Claims Guidelines. So there will be no import or custom duties for cosmetic products. However, there will be a 7% GST imposed on all products and services sold in Singapore. So where imports are actually subjected to GST, payments are refunded if the products are actually re-exported. Singapore actually has a relatively low tax to maintain its market competitiveness to attract foreign markets to venture into, and corporate tax are actually charged at 17%. For pestle and NSC deduction for Singapore is actually easily affected by external environment due to its advancement in technology and also dependent on trades.
Okay, so the top 3 brands that we have identified are The Body Shop, Lush, and Fenty Beauty. So for The Body Shop, their target audience are adults, females, and they have a broad product reach which enables them to have a wide consumer base, and they use natural ingredients in all their products. So they have 36 stores across Singapore and are available online as well. And they use social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, for their brand presence. And then as for Lush, they target young adults, females, 20 to 35 years old, and for their products, they use organic and fresh products, and their products are often discontinued to make room for new products annually. This is to enable the brand to continue being interesting and innovative, and their products also are very unique. So they have 5 stores across Singapore and are available online as well. And they have strong social media presence, and they have a very engaging website. So their website uses really strong, vibrant colors. And as for social media, they tend to repost their follower stories, or comment on their post. And then lastly, for Fenty Beauty, they target young adults, females, and they are very big on diversity and inclusivity. So why do I say this is because they are the first brand to actually release 40 foundation shades in their first launch. And then even their products, even their models, they use like a diverse range of models. So they have 12 stores across Singapore, and they are only exclusive in Sephora. And their social media presence, they have a very comprehensive social media platforms and have engaging website as well.
In the plot of 5 forces, there are 3 forces that we need to take note of, which is the threat of new entrants, bargaining power of buyers, and rivalry amongst competitors. Now, there are many new and upcoming local brands in Singapore, so with more brands readily available for these consumers means they have a plethora of options that they can select from. Thus, potential new entrants can leverage on recent beauty trends to differentiate themselves and also to create a distinctive advantage. Startup SG also helps entrepreneurs to access the local businesses such as financial loans and global networking. Hence, with this support in place, the cost to invest in new businesses is relatively low. Now, the rise in social media usage gave buyers more bargaining power as digital brands rely heavily on followers and influencers' reviews to thrive. Thus, with a low switching cost for the consumers, an array of new entrants and substitutes also contributes to the high bargaining powers of the buyers. So in Singapore, there are many dominating brands with strong global presence such as L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, Sephora, SK2 as such. And also there's a growing trend in Japanese and Korean beauty where these brands headquarters in Singapore as a test bed for their products for the Asian region. There also rise in social beauty brands as they have morphed consumer behaviors in purchasing products by using a vast range of visual content. So as a digital social brand, these beauty brands have to rely heavily and compete on social media followers as part of their contributing revenue. Thus, compared to other competitors, Glossier currently stand with 2.8 million Instagram followers, which is rather relatively small footing in the beauty industry. However, Singapore shows a steady annual growth of 2.6% for its CAGR for 2020 to 2025, and despite this COVID situation, there is still a positive revenue growth of 3.5% in Singapore by 2021. Hence, Glossier's first Asia venture should be in Singapore, as the country positions itself as a strategic location and also tax haven and global hub for foreign firms to establish themselves. The chosen market segment for Glossier is females 18 to 25 years old with a population of 400,000. Now, Singaporeans look for a variety when it comes to cosmetics, and consumers' desire to feel connected and relatable to the brands have been very prevalent these days, especially with the presence of social media. Therefore, cult brands have been on the rise lately as it forms a community of people who share similar cultures and passions. So consumers have been patronizing these brands that listen to them and also give these consumers a sense of ownership in the brand success. Now, the reason for strong growth potential is due to young consumers like Gen Z entering the market. Thus, we set this our marketing objective to achieve 2 million Sing dollars in sales and revenue by selling 5 million retail price of cosmetic products within the first year of Glossier's launch in Singapore. Furthermore, we try to appeal to 320,000 people out of the 400,000 of population in Singapore in Glossier's launch within the first year in Singapore as well. So we aim to contribute 10% of this goal to the corporate goal by 2024. To enter the Singapore market, we'll be adopting the following strategy because it gives us an advantage to maintain our brand identity within the community in Singapore and also to be consistent with the marketing plan from Glossier USA. Then the advantage of this is that we can learn from the mistakes of our pioneers such as marketing, positioning and product mistakes. So it's a kind of like a test bed for us to make sure that our first step in Asia is the right direction. And to execute this strategy, we'll be adopting various social media platforms for campaigns and also to engage local and or Asian influencers for Instagram, YouTube, and blogs.
Next, as shown in the positioning map, the majority of the beauty cosmetic brands in Singapore are mainly product driven, which means that this is an opportunity for Glossier to tap on and market themselves as a consumer driven yet affordably priced beauty cosmetic in Singapore.
Furthermore, the local consumers are more selective, which translates to the rise in demand for more customized product. Given that the consumers are also tech savvy and have access to the information on the internet, anytime and anywhere, they can simply search for product information and prices to compare easily online. So Glossier, as a consumer-driven brand that is priced affordably, encourages the beauty community to voice their opinions so that they can co-create beauty products together and develop products that caters to their specific needs and demand. Therefore, this market opportunity poses a considerable opportunity for Glossier to market themselves in Singapore to cater to the rising needs and demand.
So for product strategy wise, for the core products will be actually the Glossier's beauty community, and also the actual products will include the Glossier aesthetic packaging, and for augmented products will actually include the exchange and refunds and also the samples and also easy checkout processes. Moving on to pricing strategy, Glossier products actually range approximately from $12.50 for mini size products and to $50 for multiple products in a set. On average, each product actually costs about $27 SGD per product. So Glossier will actually adopt a competitive pricing strategy as their products are actually priced in a similar range as their competitors, considering that Singapore market is very competitive. So since Glossier is new to Singapore market, it is also gives Glossier a competitive advantage by increasing the chance of market penetration, and it is also the least likely way to go wrong as it prevents the market loss since it is priced within the same range as their competitors who are in the industry for the longest time. So Glossier can actually assume that the pricing set by its competitors is actually acceptable by its consumers. Distribution strategy. The core business attribute of Glossier is digital, so hence to create like a unique experience yet a strong presence in Singapore, it is recommended for Glossier to adopt an exclusive distribution with only 5 retail stores within the central region. So the location of the stores actually sets the tone for being premium and upmarket. Additionally, Singapore's central area is whereby most working adults, tourists and locals actually do their shoppings for apparels and also beauty products. So Glossier will actually adopt an independent distribution channel to supply its products in Singapore, and Glossier Singapore will actually be the sole distributor for this brand in Singapore. So for local online retail space, it is recommended to leverage on Zalora as they have like a high web traffic flow and also have a prominent presence in Singapore, Malaysia and Hong Kong. So for the retail stores distributing through Nomax and Essentials as they carry other prestigious brands, and its brands actually image actually matches with Glossier's, and they are actually located in the central Singapore regions as well. So placing Glossier products with other high-end brands actually increases the brand value in Singapore market.
So moving on to promotion strategy. So firstly, for online advertising, in order for Glossier to appeal to 320,000 consumers, Glossier has to build brand awareness through advertising online before they can officially launch in Singapore. Glossier should set up a separate domain name extension by country, such as glossier.com.sg or glossier.sg, to categorize their products ability in the different countries, such as in Singapore, for consumers to easily search for the brands and product. Glossier can also implement email marketing on their website by encouraging website visitors to subscribe to their email newsletter to get a first-time subscriber 10% discount off their first purchases. So further discount can also be given to consumers during promotional events or festive events such as Black Friday sales, 11/11, and Christmas sales, and many other events which can help to encourage more sales and purchases. So additionally, having an abandoned cart email is also essential to follow up with prospective customers who have left their items without checking out, such as something as simple as, hey, you left your items in the cart. This follow-up email will act as a reminder for them to cut out and help the company to retrieve the lost potential for transaction. So currently on Glossier's website, there is a page on free stuff inside, which encourages users to sign up to their email newsletter to unlock freebies. Some of it includes wallpaper, digital cards, and playlists. So Glossier could further intensify their marketing and promotions for this email subscription, which is a win-win situation for both the brands and consumers. So moving on to social media and influencer promotional strategy. In order for Glossier to target the local consumer more effectively, they have to include and feature more Asian communities on their social media to show the local consumers that their makeup is actually suitable for Asian skin type as well. And also to show that their products can cater to the needs of the Singaporeans and also for the Singapore climate. Glossier can set up a local Instagram account, such as using the Instagram handle at glossier.sg. This will help the brand to build inclusivity and diversity through their social media. The consumer can also refer to this Instagram account to get more localized, relatable content and updates on products and launches that is happening in Singapore. Furthermore, Glossier can collaborate with social media influencers who are popular and best represent their brand values to come up with seasonal or limited packaging and products. Glossier should collaborate with both international and local influencers for sponsorship or giveaways. So local influencers such as Mong Ching Yo is a good example of local faces that the Singapore beauty consumers are familiar with, and Asian users can easily relate and recognize them. Consumers tend to trust and look for reviews that comes from a third party because they are more trustworthy than the traditional marketing from the brand itself. So having influencer will actually help the brand. Glossier can also consider collaborating and sponsoring products and getting the influencers to do a review on the product. And this way, Glossier can tap into the influencers following to raise brand awareness and gain new followings from them to actually generate new leads.
Thirdly, under unique packaging, a market research projects that Gen Z is one of the driving factors behind the growth of global personalized packaging market, with a growth rate of 4.8% from US 25.5 million in 2017 to US 35.5 million by the end of 2024. So the Gen Z are tech-savvy consumers that are attracted by pretty packages that are Instagrammable and personalized. So Glossier could develop limited edition collections and packaging to intrigue this consumers group, to give them a sense of exclusivity, and as a result, Glossier they can stay relevant to the current and seasonal trends as well as promotional events. So Glossier can also introduce personalization such as name sticker or engraving to the products and packaging to evoke a sense of ownership and reinforce exclusivity that the product is specially personalized and tailored for you. And the consumers are co-creating with the brand in that sense. So furthermore, Glossier can introduce materials that are biodegradable for the packaging to appeal to the Gen Z who are more environmentally or socially conscious, or offer them the options to opt out of additional excessive use of packaging. So lastly, for our promotional strategy would be to provide a tailored experience. Gen Z is the early adopter of new ideas and always on the lookout for the next trending cool things. Glossier can invest in artificial intelligence, also known as AI, and facial recognition technology to provide a detailed skin analysis in their store. Subsequently, the AI can run an analysis and recommend suitable products for the users and instruction of the usage. It will not only attract the tech-savvy users, but also offer them an efficient, effective, and convenient solution to their consumers. So the same facial recognition technology can also be used for users to test out their makeup virtually in store or online by allowing consumers to choose their choice of makeup and the colors to apply virtually using a filter. So this is especially useful during the COVID-19 situation where testers of products are generally not available in store due to hygiene issues. Hence, by implementing this, Glossier could provide consumers with a more tailored experience by customizing the recommendations of products accordingly to each individual's skin issues and needs. So as Glossier will be launched in Singapore for the first time, they can give out free samples with or without purchases for users to try on and then decide if they want to buy the product. It might improve the customer's willingness to buy, as they might buy a product just to get a free sample size for travel friendly. So finally, Glossier can host a pre-launch opening party and invite influencers to the store to test out and review their products and smart technologies in store. So they can seek out influencers to send PR kits of new products to feature of product reviews on the influencers' social media accounts. So these influencers will then post and hype up the launch, showcasing the brand on their platform so that more people will be more inclined to, find out what is happening to the brand and then
to try the new products and technologies in store, posting on their social media accounts, which ultimately will increase the brand and product awareness as well as to drive revenues.
By meeting the project sales target, the ROI for 2011 to 2024 are expected to grow between 2% to 3% each year. The projected expenses will be spent on items such as marketing campaigns, product supplies, logistics, websites, hostings, and maintenance, employee salary, and rental. By the end of 2024, we are projecting returns of 1.9 million Singapore dollars. A contingency plan is to help an organization identify the potential risks so they can respond or recover from the events. These are mostly the duties of senior partners of an organization, which they must constantly review according to the environment. There are 5 potential risks identified for Glossier Singapore: 2 red, recognized as high probability and high impact, and 3 yellow as medium probability and impact. But we will only cover 2 red and 1 yellow for this presentation. We identified a strong competition within the cosmetic industry in Singapore as the first red. As a newly introduced brand in Singapore market, Glossier Singapore will need to constantly review their products, such as social listening, and create what a consumer wants. This potential risk should be constantly reviewed. As a brand depending heavily on social media, Glossier Singapore should also be consistent in building relationships with the consumers on social media platforms. If the current strategy is not effective, it should be reviewed or changed by the senior partners, for example, the yearly KPIs. We identified the current COVID-19 pandemic as the second red, which is an issue for all industry. Any notice on this should be acted on within 4 hours. For the current external protocol, we suggested the trying of any products on display and implement a strict safety protocol according to government guidelines. For internal protocols, Glossier Singapore should focus on employee retention and initiate flexible work arrangements such as working from home and the timing and the number of employees to be in the office. Reassessing financial and operational risk is also a priority, as it will greatly impact the operational flow of the company. The only yellow potential risk we want to highlight is the website failure or breach. It should be resolved immediately, as this can lead to privacy breach for Glossier Singapore customers. To reduce these chances of this happening, the website should be regularly maintained and any upgrade should be done immediately. Scheduled checks should also be performed and recorded if there are any defects identified.